What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic. Today, we're going to bring you our top 5 overrated boxers today. Don't mean they suck or they're bad. I mean they're just overrated in terms of body of work or skill set by the medium or by the fans and probably in their own type of camp. I'm not saying that these fighters weren't going to be Hall of Famers or going to be great. It's just something about them that I see that they haven't faced adversity in some instances, or they're ducking the competition, or they just are not impressive to me per se. This is my opinion. If you love a fighter or you emotionally attached, which I know I'm emotionally attached to any fighters because they're not my blood, no relation. So I'm not emotionally attached. So a lot of people like to get offended and start crying. I'm not about to go back and forth with you. I'm explaining exactly what I'm saying as each and one of these fighters pop up on your screen. And the first one I'm gonna get into, jump ahead a little bit, is Demetrius Andrade. I mean, he talks big. He sounds good from time to time. Pops up at your press conference, says this, has a lot of ability. Did look a little lackluster versus Jack Calcly, but I get that to Russ. Had the balls to go over there in Germany. Very good fighter, but seems to not fight the good guys. Or he's supposed to step up and fight Matt Korobov, up to 160 for WBO title. Eddie Lee ended up getting that. Cried over money. Dropped out the Charlo fight over money. Can't get the Erislandy Lara fight. He's just somebody whose career is just in flux, and his projection of fans is he's like the best junior middleweight to some guys, but hasn't proved it. So his aura and his stigma is kind of overrated in the boxing game. Number 4, Leo Santa Cruz. I have just never been impressed with Leo Santa Cruz. Like I said, no head movement. Usually wins all his fights basically just off of him being bigger than his opponent. And as he continues to move up in weight, he's going to get exposed, especially at featherweight. I hopefully Al Heyman puts him in with Gary Russell. He's been very protected by Al Heyman. Carl Frampton fought a stupid second fight. I don't know if he's going to give him the rubber match right away, but I just never been impressed with him. He just throws a lot of punches. I mean, I'm just not impressed. No real skill. I mean, really straight up, robotic, kind of European style for a Mexican. Exciting fighter, but I don't see him being, as good as most people, think he is. My third one on the list, all in order, Jorge Linares. I heard people talking about he should be a pound-for-pound champion in that weak division. That's starting to heat up now with Flanagan and Mikey Garcia and Lomachenko potentially stepping up. But he's been knocked out by Antonio DeMarco, rebuilt his career. He's nothing special. He hasn't beat anybody worth mentioning. Yeah, he got a little world title, but I'm not impressed with him still. He's still the same Jorge Linares that got knocked out by Antonio DeMarco. I'm not impressed. Number 2 on my list is Terence Crawford. But he's the goods, but he's overrated from the simple fact that I think he's going to face the same dilemma that Adrian Broner did when he goes to 147 welterweight, aka welterweight. A lot of people, you're going to see his true colors. Can he take it on the chin? Because he gets hits with a lot of punches. His defense is not as great as people say it is, and people say, oh, it's just because he takes chances. It's not when he just takes chances, because he's getting hit wide in the middle of the ring by overhand rights and all types of right hands and stuff like that. So we're going to see where he stands when he moves up to welterweight. And one, he hasn't faced any adversity, no cuts, never been injured, and been comfortable in the ring with everybody he's fought with, because he's usually bigger than all the guys he fight. And until he steps up to welterweight, we're not really going to know how good Terence Crawford is. His legitimacy won't be solidified at junior welterweight nor lightweight versus any smaller guys until he fights guys that's more closer to his equal size and weight and his body frame and his height and his length. He has a big advantage over those junior varsity guys he's fighting now. And my number 1 guy should not be surprised to anybody, Gennady Golovkin. You've seen when he stepped up in competition, finding his career, when he fights a solid B-plus fighter and Daniel Jacobs, B-plus fighter. He looks ordinary. He looks mundane. Like I said, he never was that good to begin with. He's been fighting B-, C+, and C-, D- fighters in some cases in the Damo. I was never impressed by his resume. 35 years old. Never fought an upper echelon opponent, and people put him in a top 10 pound for pound. I don't understand it. I mean, he never had a great fight, a legitimate fight. All his fighters that he fought was perfectly match made and perfectly manufactured to hype him up until he fights Canelo Alvarez and fights maybe a guy like James DeGale, Gilberto Ramirez, and start stringing some great performances together and stop getting all these soft touches around, then he can earn legitimacy. Not saying Golovkin isn't the goods. He has a lot of skills, good punch variety, good power, good technique. But he has to start stringing around names of good fighters on his resume. And Daniel Jacobs was the perfect start. I thought Jacobs edged him. It was a close fight. But this is just my opinion on my top 5 overrated fighters. Now, not meaning they're not good, just meaning they're a little bit overrated. We gone.